Facebook for everybody to enjoy. And Coach, you got a big smile on your face. You must have been so happy with your team with the way that they played here today. A 52-14 win here. What was the message to the team after this one?
It was actually pretty short and sweet. They worked hard this week. We kind of talked about it this morning. We were shorthanded. Things weren't exactly perfect, but they came out focused, and I thought we lost focus there a little bit to start the second half, and then they refocused and knuckled down, and they played the way I knew they were capable of playing. We showed earlier this year, we were very sound in everything we did tonight, and you could see the results showed that.
One thing that we talked about this morning, Coach, was you wanted your line to play real well. They played well, you were going to do well, and Caleb Hummel and Finn Bramer were the two names that you mentioned, and how happy were you with their performance?
Yeah, I think they came up huge. I mean, there was a couple plays where we didn't think we had the blocking we had, and then we talked to them like, well, this guy was blitzing, that guy was blitzing. We watched the film, they were right. So, just a bad play call at the wrong time, but they were where they needed to be, and it's a testament to the fact that Coach Dahlstrom had them in the chalk talk a couple times this week, going over some things just so that we could make sure they were sound on a game that we were pretty sure if we came and took care of business, we would be on this side of the scoreboard.
Sean Neal, Parker Gallant, just going back and forth with long touchdown runs and stuff like that. How fun is it to have them in the backfield?
Yeah, Parker showed another side tonight. He's just getting healthier every week, and you can see it, and it makes our offense that much more potent when you can't just sell out to one side defensively. They had to be honest, and they hadn't seen on film, because we hadn't ran a lot to our offensive left or the defensive right, that they just weren't expecting it. They had all their help on the other side, and clearly Parker came up huge and made them have to respect that. And then you saw Sean pop a couple big ones the other way on some counter moves, so that was really good.
And then you got to take us underneath the headsets for the final touchdown of the evening. Homecoming king Leo Castro gets the ball, and that's going to be a fun play to watch on film over and over again, as he kind of 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, just kind of did that up and down and was able to finally find his way in. That must have been a fun play call to be in on before the play, and then a fun conversation afterwards.
So it was actually, I don't know how close you were watching. It was interesting. We after I got off the phone with you this morning, I sent a message to my offensive coordinator. I said, I want to get Leo in, and I want him to run the ball at least once this year, and tonight's probably our best chance of our last 3 games. I said, so let's find the right spot. And I went over to him. I said, this next series, Leo's going in. And he goes, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, he's going in. And so then we put him in, and we weren't in the right spot of the field to call. He only knows a couple plays in their offense. He's from Bolivia, so he doesn't speak a lot of English, and I try to. My Spanish is about 25 years removed from when I took a class, and so I can't get too much to him, but I told him actually in the
Yo Coro, that's about it.
In the stretching, I said, you're going to corre la pelota. And he goes, yep. And I said, okay, good. And then so we called it, and I actually thought they were going to call holding on Jake there because he was leading the way, and it was actually a face mask call. I thought they were going to pull his touchdown off the board. So the fact that he had that, and it's kind of funny, in his native of Bolivia, he's actually a boxer. So if you watch that move where he ducks under the guy and weaves the way, we're like, oh, he's bobbing and weaving like he's in the boxing ring. So it's sweet. It was fun. It was fun, and for Leo to be a homecoming king, get a touchdown. I don't even know if he knows what he really accomplished, but you know what? The kids were loving it. If you could have heard the sideline, that's probably the loudest they've been all year.
And you'll have Suring, I believe, next week. What kind of momentum does that give you for that game? Obviously, you've had a couple of rough weeks. Sevastopol, NEW Lutheran, Algoma in there, kind of back-to-back weeks. And now you'll face a tough Suring team next week, but now you got a lot of confidence going that way as well.
Yeah, there's some good and bad. I've watched film because we had a Suring film against Gillett, so that's what we watched because most of our games that we've been getting have been lean on. Lean is really good, so it's kind of hard to always tell what you're going to get. So I got my hands on another film, and so I have one film of them already, and they're good. They're solid. Clearly, I think when we play our best, we're solid, and hopefully we can stay healthy. Hopefully Xavier will come back next week. Wyatt will come back. You notice we had 2 kids sitting on the bench tonight that didn't even play. So if we get those 2 back, I think we can definitely be competitive. And I know our kids are scoreboard watchers. I don't know how much you know about this new playoff system, but the first preliminary rankings came out, and Suring's pretty high. So I know our kids will be focused on that, and we're just going to have to come out and let them know, listen, they've seen them on film because it's actually the first week all year we've watched film of the other team. So they've seen some of their plays. They know what they're about. they saw the kind of points that they scored on them, so they know they're going to have their hands full. But our kids are going to go and have a great homecoming weekend after this good victory, and we'll come back to work. Actually, they're coming back early Monday because we have an in-service day, so we're going to practice early and then give them the whole rest of the day to relax.
Well, Coach, you go celebrate homecoming. How does that sound?
Yeah, something. I'm going to go relax, that's for sure.
Very good. Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on the 50-14 win here against Gillett.